Over 90% of people who lose weight eventually gain it back. 9 out of every 10 people. It's so common. I bet you know someone who's done it, even just in your personal life, but definitely on social media as well. We're going to talk about all that today. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's Anthony Monda. Thank you for tuning in to another video. Really appreciate your support as always. Few housekeeping things today, some exciting things I want to let you guys in on. This shirt, hey, look at that. Got some merch coming up. What do you guys think? So this is one of the biggest things I'm behind. This is one of my biggest missions in life in general, is to get people to, stop being so fearful and get out of their head and stop letting their insecurities run their lives. Basically, this is just what I just said. Get out of your head. Everything that you're insecure about, you're probably over-exaggerating. It's a story you've been telling yourself your whole life that's probably not even true. So all those things that bother you about yourself, everyone else isn't noticing. So this is a huge message I want to push. I'm going to be having these on my website available for pre-order soon. So let me know in the comments down below if you're interested. I would love for you to be, supporting me and rocking like an awesome message. Because at the end of the day, I think that's why it's very plain. It's very simple. It's a very simple message to always be a reminder to yourself and to others that, look, man, we all have them, but we cannot let it ruin our lives and let it run our lives and make decisions for us and stop us from doing what we want to do. You don't have to act like someone else to be good in this world. All right. So let's talk about all things regaining weight today. Okay, so like I said in the little intro there, super common. 9 out of every 10 people. Oh man, that bothers me so much, and we'll get into why and how and all that stuff. But first I want to talk about, okay, why haven't I regained the weight I lost, or why have I been successful? And I'm going to be straight up with you guys. Fitness, weight loss, it's not a huge priority of mine in my life anymore. Like, straight up, okay? I am obsessed with, not obsessed, but my main priority in life right now is my business, making sure that I can work for myself, making sure that I can do something I love for the rest of my life while supporting myself and the people that I love. That's my #1 priority, and just, self-improvement, being a better person, things like that. I am not concerned with food anymore, or weight loss, or fitness. It's a huge part of my life, and it taught me so much. And it's funny I say it's not a huge part of my life, because obviously this is what I want to do. But I'm saying in terms of me, like, I don't constantly have to think of, okay, like, what should I eat today? What workout should I do? What are best? Because I've kind of done all that work, so everything's just kind of automated, which, that's the ultimate goal. So I don't think about that stuff anymore, so I don't know. I don't have to try, because all of my systems are in place. I'm sure you have something you're good at where you just, I don't know, maybe you're good at like basketball or something. You just pick up a basketball. You can pick it up every, couple weeks and still be good. Like, I don't know, fitness, weight loss, that's not a huge part of my life. My main priorities are growing my business, making an impact on other people's lives, and ultimately, completing my two missions during this lifetime, which are putting an end to insecurities, because I was such an insecure person throughout my whole entire life, basically until the last year, and ending childhood obesity, or just obesity in general. So like, that's why I haven't regained my weight. Alright, so now let's talk about why you clicked on the video. Let's talk about popular weight loss influencers or fitness influencers that have regained their weight back. Okay, so I'll just start by saying that with every case of this, you have to understand, okay, you got to remember 9 out of every 10 people. These people that you watch on YouTube, on social media, on Instagram, they're not special. Look, hey, they're not. I'm not special. Normal people. Okay, they go through the same crap that you have to. Everybody has their little intricacies about their lives, different ways of coping, different ways of handling emotions. And we have to remember that everybody has those little things in their lives that make it a little bit easier to lose weight, or a little more difficult to lose weight, or a little more difficult to keep their weight off. So #1, you need to be sensitive to all that. Let's talk about, alright, so another thing I want to bring up is this is the classic case of it's you're not practicing what you're preaching, and that's actually very common. You see that in every profession. You know, you look at doctors who aren't in good shape, and you're like, aren't you supposed to be? You know, you're telling me to like watch what I eat, but you're not even in shape. Or like religiously, like pastors or people in the church and the services who aren't good people or who do bad things. It's very common. The reason why this happens is because once you get to a place where you're satisfied and people are starting to look up to you, you start to have that power feeling, and you lose that, and you know, beyond all, you lose that motivation that you had in the beginning, that you were so like disgusted with yourself and that you wanted to change so bad. Once everybody starts telling you, you know, like these social media people or the people on YouTube, and I'm not going to name a couple, but I know you guys know who I'm talking about, and a lot of good people I've talked to over social media deal with the same thing, but they get to a place where everyone is telling them that they look so good, they're so motivating, so why do they have to keep doing the things that got them to where they are in the first place? Why do they have to count their calories like every single day? Why do they have to not have a cheat meal? Like, they kind of get complacent, which is why I'm so like just blown away by people who are able to sustain greatness for a long period of time, because it is harder to do what is expected to do. Like it's harder to live up to expectations than it is to kind of create, you know, that first wave of results. And if, you know, I'm sure if you think about that, really makes sense. But yeah, like these people aren't any different than yourselves. They're just as likely to regain their weight. And all right, let's be real. Does it make me envious? Does it make me jealous because, you know, I kind of figured it out and maybe they haven't? If I'm being completely honest, yeah, it does sometimes, because I feel like, and that's with no malintent, nothing malicious meaning, but it does bother me that a lot of people take advice from, you know, some of these people who haven't quite really figured it out for themselves yet. And now I will say, with these people who have regained weight, it doesn't mean they have a lack of knowledge. They have a lack of, you know, putting that knowledge into action, which I think is the most important thing, which I think makes me special. I'm able to teach that because we dive into, you know, like your psychological, and we kind of figure out like how to do that. I don't just tell you, you know, how many calories to eat or, you know, what to do. I tell you why. And these people have a hard time of doing it themselves, and it doesn't make me envious, doesn't make me jealous sometimes. That's my first initial reaction, yes, but overall, no. Because I realize that, look, they've done some awesome things. They're really good people. They're very knowledgeable. Their main intent in their life is to help people as well. So if they're able to help someone else, I will never be envious. I'll never be jealous. I just want my opportunity to do the same. Of course, that's just human nature. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But let's look on the other side, and you look at a ton of fitness influencers or weight loss influencers who've lost a ton of weight, and they've kept it off for a while. Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is Obese to Beast, and I met him once. Really good guy, just very genuine, just like he is on camera. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you watch me, I'm sure you watch him or you're aware of him. Okay, again, the reason he hasn't is because it's not like the main thing in his life anymore. If you guys have been keeping up with his more recent videos, he's just into CrossFit, things like that, and training. He's training twice a day, and he's completely changed his lifestyle, just like myself. So like he says he doesn't fear regaining weight simply because like he can't even imagine that lifestyle again. Simply because I think it's not his main priority. You know, training is, you know, helping other people, stuff like that. But you look at some other people in the fitness community, and they're kind of struggling with that. Now, you have to realize that the reason this is happening is because they didn't tackle the why. Okay, and this is why I want to always preach this to you guys. You can have all the knowledge, you can count all the calories, you can diet down, you can get super shredded, but if you don't understand why you weren't overweight in the first place or why you're struggling in the first place, you're not going to be able to keep that weight off. And that's why these percentages are so high, is because it's so easy to lose weight. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, all you have to do is continually eat a little less. And, you know, if your weight stalls, you eat less, or you work out more. That's a very simple, it's simple, but it's not easy. But keeping it off is hard, because you have to maintain everything that got you there over a long period of time. And if anyone knows anything about any skill, you know, just think about anything. Like, it's hard to maintain what got you there, because at first, like I said earlier in the video, you were so motivated and it was all so new for you, and it was all that like novelty factor of, wow, like I'm seeing new cuts and stuff. But when that stops, when that's your new normal, it's hard to stay motivated. It's easy to get complacent. So this is why these people start to deal with it. And look, I'm not envious. I sincerely feel for them. But I will tell you the reason why is, okay, there's actually two reasons. Number one, like I mentioned, they don't address their why. They're very knowledgeable. They know how to cut down really lean, but they can't keep it there because they never address their emotions, their psychological ties to food. They didn't build a better relationship with food or working out. It was all about looking better. They didn't have any performance goals inside of the gym. So the only thing that keeps them going is new results. And eventually those results kind of slow down. So like, what else is going to keep you going? If you're not doing it just to be healthier, to optimize your lifestyle and increase your lifespan, that motivation runs very thin when it's all about aesthetic. And I ran into that myself a couple years ago. I was the leanest I ever was, but I was the unhappiest I ever was. And I had the most binges and overeating episodes I ever had. And I was like, what the heck? And I'm so glad I had the self-awareness to acknowledge that and to be aware so I could work on that, fix it, change it, so I could help others, because that was the ultimate goal. Because even then, I kind of had in mind that I wanted to help others, but I was like, how can I do this if I haven't figured out for myself? And I need to do that personally. Now, a lot of these guys, you know, aren't too worried about it. Like I said, that's okay. I get it. But, okay, number two, the reason is because they take it to the extreme. So when you're losing weight, a lot of these people feel, especially if they have a lot of people watching them, they feel the need to either, you know, attain and maintain a very shredded physique year round. Okay, now this does a couple of things. It completely messes with your head. It messes body dysmorphia, all of that. You're never gonna think you're lean enough. And once you get to a healthier weight, say you know you cut down really shredded, you know, single-digit body fat percentages, you need to regain that weight back a little bit just to be healthy, and that starts to mess with you, because then you can't post these awesome pictures on social media and get a bunch of likes and follows and attention. So then they cut down again, not addressing the why. They compete for bodybuilding shows, or they do women's bikini. And what that does is it creates, honestly, that's why I'll never compete or anything, because it creates such a bad relationship with food. Because who are you doing it for? Like, why are you actually doing it? I know that most people are doing it for that Instagram picture, right? And once that's gone, what's your motivation after that? Okay, you get down to such low calories, binging, overeating, it's inevitable at that point. A lot of people struggle with that. You know, I'm sure there's people that don't know how to come out of it, but just being real, that's not for everyone. And even for the people out there watching, you don't need abs to be healthy. Like, it's not gonna make you happy. You're not gonna, internally, you're still gonna be the same person. You just might walk around with less body fat and more abs showing, but that's not an attainable look for everyone. Like, I don't have abs year round. Like, when I flex, I have them, but like, they're just not like, if I lift my shirt up right now, they're not just like poking out, okay? Because that, number one, like no one really cares too much. And number two, it's not sustainable like it is on social media. If you go through your feed, you're gonna see all that, but those are just highlights. People probably maintain that for maybe a day or so, and then they overate because, again, they didn't address the why. So that's kind of what I think about the whole like weight loss influencer, fitness influencer, like people that have regained weight. I'm very empathetic to their situation. Am I envious? My first initial reaction, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, is yes, simply because I think I have figured it out for myself and others, and maybe they haven't figured it out for themselves. but that does not make them any less knowledgeable. That doesn't make them any less of a person, and I don't think they should get as much flack as they do for it, because I'm sure a lot of people that give them that flack on the other side of the screen, you know, Twitter fingers, in the comment section too, they struggle with the same thing. So you really should be able to relate to that a lot more. I mean, I don't know. I do understand the population that feels that if you have people watching you, if you are giving out advice about weight loss, about fitness, nutrition, that you should be able to walk the walk. I actually agree with that. Like, so if you're out there, if you think that, I totally get it. And that's why, that's another reason why I don't have another hard time, is because I know I have to set a good example for you guys. Not only for you guys, but for the people around me. And it's not to impress them or to make myself seem better. I know and I want to set a good example for other people, because if I can have that impact on anyone else, I want that, because I was that person who needed... The reason I do all this is because every video I make, I'm talking to my younger self, okay? That's the straight up honest reason, because I cannot, like, I wish somebody would have just shook my head and told me all the stuff that I know now at an earlier age, because I would have had such a different outlook on life and stuff would have happened differently. Now, I'm thankful for that it didn't, but I'm just saying every single video is me just talking to a younger version of myself. And because I know my audience, and if you're watching this, I know you can resonate with it, okay? Weight regain, it happens simply because people lose weight at an unsustainable pace, doing unsustainable things, working out way too much, doing way too much cardio. That's the end of it. That's why it happens. It's because it's very easy to lose weight if you just slash your calories down to 1,000 calories a day. You can do that for a couple months. I did it, right? I'm sure you've did it. But you notice, you start to burn out. You start to get so hungry. Your hormones are all out of whack. You have no energy, that you just have to overeat. You have to go back to your old habits. If you're doing an hour of cardio a day, you can't sustain that. You can do it for a couple weeks, but can you do it for the rest of your life? So, if you're watching this now and you want to know how to lose weight and not regain it, you have to ask yourself this one simple question. It's, if I had to do this diet and workout regimen for the rest of my life, would I be able to? Now, I can 100% answer that question yes, and I'm sure a lot of the people on social media and on YouTube, even who have a huge following, cannot honestly answer that question yes. Because they're doing it, they're taking extremes, because they know they have a lot of people looking up to them, so they want to be at their best shape. But they're not taking the time to figure out the why, okay? They're not addressing their emotions, their psychological ties to food, to working out. Take your time when losing weight. Just stay consistent. And if you're... You have to take it slow. I know you don't want to hear that, because it's not a sexy thing, right? It'd be a lot easier if I told you, you're going to lose weight in, 2 months doing this, or you're going to lose your belly fat doing this. But what I'm here to tell you is you cannot speed this thing up. If you just take 6 to 8 months and you do it the right way, I promise you will be in shape for the rest of your life, because if you take 6 to 8 months, you're going to be doing it slower at a more appropriate pace. You're not going to feel like you're such a, you're embedded in this diet lifestyle. It's just going to be a lifestyle. So take your time. You're not gonna regain your weight if you do it in a sustainable way. You're gonna be all right. So thank you guys so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic, because I know it's a very controversial one. It's probably the most controversial topic I've touched yet, even though I didn't mention any names. I'm sure you guys have some ideas in your head. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think that they should still give out advice if they cannot, control their weight? If they have a hard time maintaining a healthy lifestyle, do you think they should still give out advice? Like, do you listen to them still? What are your thoughts on that? I would love to hear it. Thank you for supporting as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you soon.